Members of the graduating class of 2021, this is probably the last time you really have to listen to me. Parents, family members of the graduates, trustees, faculty, students, friends of the Academy, welcome to the commencement ceremony for 2021. I would like to begin by thanking the Academy's trustees for having faith in the faculty and the students. You, the trustees, have never wavered in your determination to make Harrisburg Academy a top educational destination for students. Your dedication and commitment to providing quality professional development opportunities for our teachers and your support for the International Baccalaureate program makes us a better place every day. Thank you for volunteering hours of your time for free. And thank you for your vision and guidance that's helped to make the Academy a better place, not only for the students, but for those of us who work here. So thank you. Well, where does one begin to sum up or say something about this year? The year that my queen in England described as an anno horribilis. Well, what was it like here in the Academy? Was it really terrible? Or was it an opportunity to learn about ourselves and to see just how resilient we really are? At the Academy, we had come to recognize the importance of in-person learning over the 10 weeks that we had tried it the year before. We saw that this was essential for our younger students. The result of this realization was to galvanize the Academy in its determination to offer in-person learning as well as virtual option for the year 2021. Over the summer vacation, the administration had invested in sanitizers, masks, AC filters, ghost-busting machines that sprayed disinfectant, TV screens, microphones, video cameras were purchased and became part of the standard equipment of every class. The result has been the school's been able to stay open for the whole year. And that was set the Academy apart from many of the schools in the region. But this equipment was only the physical tip of the iceberg in addressing this challenge. It was probably the easiest part. As with an iceberg, the business end lies below the surface, often hidden from view to the outside world, especially since you weren't allowed in. The real thing that propelled the school through the year was that special quality that exists within our community, the ability to pull together, the ability to support one another when the going gets tough. The Academy board members who backed the school and supported what they saw as draconian requirements, sometimes by people, but that enabled us to keep the virus at bay. No parents in school, quarantining, after travel, no concerts, greatly reduced sporting opportunities, trips canceled. But we were so fortunate that we had parents who were willing to follow the rules and be honest when they needed to quarantine their families. I want to thank you for that, because without that, we could not have been open. So I'm going to give you a round of applause. We had a parent association and many individual parents who took time out of their busy schedules to encourage us to work in the school through the words, deeds, treats, and gifts. I don't think I've had so many gifts in my entire career as we got. I even still have a mint in the hole with a hole in the middle. That's what we call it in the UK. I think it's called a lifesaver here. But anyway, I know that Mr. Harding will know what I mean. A mint with the hole in, still in my office, left over from some of these gifts. I want to thank the Parent Association for a fantastic job in supporting this school. They went above and beyond. Can we give them a round of applause? I spoke to the teachers today. There were the teachers. I cannot say enough about your teachers. Whatever I do say will not do them justice. Despite the possibilities of becoming infected, these teachers showed how much they believed in their professional responsibilities by coming to work every day, all of them. Remember back in August, you didn't know really how risky it was to come to school, but they came for the kids. I remember several teachers having to really conquer their fears. In addition, these teachers had to prepare lessons that were different from what they were used to. They had to prepare lessons both for in-person and online. I want to thank each and every one of them. You were so courageous. You were so dedicated. I respect all of you deeply and consider myself privileged to have worked alongside you. I love you all. I want you to give them a round of applause because they did a phenomenal job. I should not forget my administrative colleagues. All of them did things that were definitely not in their job description. They were outside in the early morning taking temperatures, rain, snow, sunshine. Not so much sunshine, that seems to be part of Pennsylvania, more snow and rain. It is Pennsylvania after all, isn't it? So can we give them a round of applause too? But it takes two to tango, they say, and so it is with learning. I'm so proud of the students, many of whom we have sitting with us here. You know, despite changes in routines, they've overcome it all and they've been successful. They've laughed, they've smiled, they've made the best of it. One of the best bits was meeting them in the morning. They've continued to support one another and they've learned no matter what. And look at how well they have come out. Can we give them a round of applause too? They represent your class. You, the class of 2021, this is your day. And I'm so impressed with you. You've led the school through all these difficult challenges. Virtual this, virtual that. At Christmas, the Grinch even became virtual. I think that will be a first and it will be a lasting memory for you. We had the prom against all odds. Some of you had to attend school in China. And I just want to make a little reference to them because the people who studied in China had to start work at 8 p.m. and finish at 3 p.m. in the morning every day of the week. Think about, I couldn't do that. And I'm thinking about them. So I would like to give them a round of applause too, just for sucking it up and doing that. Amy and Elaine, they're not here today, but I think we have an image of them on their seats. You should be so proud of your ability to get things done no matter what. Now here we are, not in a tent. I have written in a tent, but we're not in a tent, thank goodness, because there were mosquitoes in the tent. You have shown the world that you can keep the academy and its students, you cannot keep the academy and its students down. We at the academy will always find a way. That's the Spartan way. We get it done. We finished the year, gained entry into wonderful colleges, while at the same time earning record amounts of scholarship money. We are all so proud of you. You have done and learned so much over the last year, and we want you to know that we really think a lot of you. Please stand up if you are a parent of one of these wonderful students and be recognized. If you're a parent of one of these students, you must all be so amazingly proud. This is your day too. You've done a magnificent job. These are wonderful young people. Please stand up if you're a grandparent. If you're a grandparent of one of these kids, please let us see you. You just saw your child stand up, didn't you? And it's no small part, you know. It's because of the care and patience you took in bringing them up that they brought this lot up so well. So I think you bring the love which to these students that is so important for them. You must be proud of your grandsons and your granddaughters. This is a wonderful day for you too. If you're a teacher and you taught these kids, be it in elementary, middle school, high school, please stand up and be recognized. They're your product, guys. They are your product. You made these students what they are today. These students are a wonderful product. I'm so proud of all of you. And I want to thank you, Mr. Murphy, Thank you for shepherding these students over the last 2 years. They and I wish you all the best in your future journey. There's always a welcome here for you in the Academy. Last, please, graduates of 2001, 2021, sorry. I'm estimating that you're going to be students for another 56 minutes, so you have to wait, but please stand and take a bow. Take a bow. You did it. I'm bowing to you. You are true Spartans. You are special people. Thank you for listening to me one more time. Thank you. I now have the pleasure of introducing our salutatorian, who will give you the salutatorian's address, Paige Caldwell. Paige.
Welcome, friends, family, teachers, staff, and administration, and thank you all for being here. I would also like to thank everyone involved in the planning of this event, as I know we are all extremely appreciative of the opportunity to have an in-person graduation ceremony. 12 years ago, at my kindergarten graduation at the Radisson across the street, I remember receiving my diploma and being told that the next time I received one, I would be graduating as a senior from high school. I remember thinking how incredibly far away that seemed, and I was quite convinced that this day would never come, but now somehow here we are. The culmination of our time in high school is a time filled with change, growth, endings, and new beginnings. And while it is important to acknowledge these changes and celebrate them, as I reflected on my time at Harrisburg Academy, I found myself feeling most grateful for what hasn't changed at all, and that is all of you. I don't mean to say that we haven't all grown, because we most certainly have. We've endured the stress of IAs, EEs, and college applications. We've mastered the art of procrastination most of the time, and we've explored new interests and passions along the way. This year especially, we've become more flexible, we've learned to adapt to change, and we've come up with solutions to challenges we never expected we'd face in our senior year. Since our first day as freshmen, when we anxiously awaited getting to sit in the front row of the auditorium and dreamed about the day when we would be the ones to cross off days off the whiteboard in the lower hallway, our experiences here have helped us grow into the strong and capable leaders we are now. But throughout all of this, the sense of community here has never changed. And our friends, family, and teachers have been here for all of the ups and downs without fail. And it is for this I am most grateful. Whether it was waving to our kindergarten buddies in the halls, panicking together about essays we had yet to write and tests we hadn't studied for, or sitting with friends on the grass patch just to enjoy every minute of each other's company, our close-knit community has made all the difference to our experiences. Thank you to all of our teachers who have motivated and inspired us to learn something new every day and to pursue our many different interests. I know I speak on behalf of the entire class when I say that we cannot thank you enough for your unwavering support, encouragement, and dedication to our success. Your love for teaching and the welcoming learning environment you help create here has truly shaped us all into the people we are today. To the class of 2021, you are some of the most hardworking, passionate, and driven people I have ever met, and I'm grateful to have grown up beside you all these last 4 years, some of you even longer. From sharing moments of laughter between classes to working through the challenges and stress of this year, we have truly gotten through everything as a class, and I couldn't have asked for better friends and classmates to get through everything with. No matter what unexpected obstacles were thrown at us, not one of you ever let that stand in the way of achieving your goals. and your unyielding determination and perseverance never fails to inspire me. I couldn't be prouder to be part of such an amazing class, and I truly cannot wait to see the astounding things I know you all will do. Thank you.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce the President of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Pete McCorkle, who is a graduate of 1987, revealing your age, and he is going to make the Trustees Award. The other one is not.
Thank you, everyone. The good news is this room doesn't look any different than it did in 1987. And I'm assured that the bathrooms don't look any different either. I do have several awards to offer tonight. The first one, and it's my great pleasure to present the Trustee Award to George Nagel. George will be retiring during the 21-22 school year, so we can begin our celebration of him today and continue it as we move into next year. I had my agents at the Academy dig pretty deeply, and after a thorough investigation, I've concluded that nice is the worst thing that anyone has ever said about George. And that's a pretty high bar for a human. So I'm going to start my celebration today at nice, and we can work our way up from there. And if at any time any of you feel like shouting anything out about George, not anything like I'm hot, but if you feel like shouting or cheering, please do. I have it on good authority that George is Superman. He's extremely efficient, organized, and here's the nice part, such a nice man. And it would take more than two hands for me to count the number of times a fellow trustee has said to me, George would probably know that, or ask George. He's the one person, to quote a teacher, he's the one person who has the answers to everything. And if he does not, he will figure it out for you. He's a kind person, a caring person, and he's always happy. Another quotation, I've never seen George get upset, stressed, or even complain about anything. He is truly our Super George. He makes time for others in a way that makes everyone feel special. I've come to find that it sounds like George not only is quite knowledgeable, but is perhaps slightly magical in his ability to find things that no one else is able to find, or know things that no one else is able to know. I would bet if I asked George to find my student records, he could get them like that. And then I could finally burn them, which would be good. Other characteristics worth mentioning, his puns bring down the house. His car is always the first in the parking lot. This one seems especially important. He's a natty dresser. His suit, tie, and on special occasions, matching handkerchiefs lend him an air of sophistication, maturity, and approachability. It's clear to me that students, parents, staff, and faculty, by and large, feel that George is, in the words of one person who will remain anonymous, a kind, quiet, conscientious, reliable, and caring individual who makes everyone else's life better by being at our school. And that would put the exclamation point at the end of this. But one writer claimed that George maybe is the best human being alive. And I thought that was worth sharing. George, you are well loved here, and this community is going to miss you. And we have a few more months to enjoy and celebrate you as a member of the Academy family. But tonight, it is my great pleasure to kick off that celebration by giving you the Trustee Award. Thank you for all that you do at the Academy. Now, I'm told there's no physical embodiment of the next award, which is the Friends of the School Award, which this year will go to the Parents Association as a representation of all of the parents and families in our community for the support that you've given the school throughout the year. I'd like to share a few thoughts on the Parents Association. I found this year that every time I thought, wow, it would be great to celebrate the faculty and staff in this way, or it would be great to do X, Y, or Z, that the Parents Association was already planning those things, one step ahead. And I think that to me, as I look at the Parents Association at the Academy, is how I think of them. One step ahead, always thinking about how we can make the students more comfortable, the families happier, the faculty and staff feel like they're getting the pats on the back that they deserve. And I would like to today thank the Parents Association very much for everything they've done in this incredibly difficult year. The cookies that they have baked and gathered from others and shared, the care packages that they put together for the faculty and staff during the holidays and again this spring. Thank you so much for everything you do. I appreciate it. And finally, I'd like to introduce our graduation speaker today, First Lady Frances Wolf. Miss Wolf is the daughter of an American diplomat. She was born in Brooklyn, New York, and grew up abroad, living in Iran, Germany, France, Pakistan, and Great Britain. Very international. Frances is an oil painter, drawing inspiration from the written word in both poetry and prose. Her work has been shown in galleries and museums across Pennsylvania. Prior to her work as an artist, Frances had a rich professional career. Working with the American Embassy in London, she reviewed visa applications and visitors to the United States. She was a market researcher, and upon moving back to Pennsylvania and York County in particular, spent many years actively engaged in civic life with a focus on issues concerning urban redevelopment and education, and volunteering extensively in the public schools. Frances and her husband, Tom, live in his hometown of Mount Wolf, when not in the Harrisburg area. They're the proud parents of two grown daughters, Sarah and Katie, and the sons-in-law, Joe and Jamie, as well as joyful grandparents. Please join me in welcoming First Lady
Hello.
Frances Wolf.
I am First Lady Frances Wolf, and it is my great honor to congratulate you, Harrisburg Academy's class of 2021, on your graduation. The path to high school graduation is always filled with challenges, but your experience was marked by a global public health crisis unlike any we have seen in over 100 years. And yet you have persevered to make it here today. As I learn about your interests, your studies, your dreams of the future, I see a class that exhibits values that make Pennsylvania strong. Community service, equity, understanding, friendship, creativity, scholarship, and so much more. You have raised funds to support childhood cancer research, combat hunger in your community, and meet the needs of women and families. You have volunteered your time to share language, art, science, and technological skills. You have challenged social norms and fought for a brighter future, one in which all people are treated fairly. And collectively, you have earned more than $1 million in scholarships as you prepare to head off to more than 100 different schools across the world. These successes are important, not only to you, your families, and your school, but to all of us here in Pennsylvania. The resilience you have shown to make it here today, especially after the last year and all the challenges that came with it, is commendable. I hope that as you move beyond high school, that you take advantage of all the opportunities that come your way. Try new things, challenge yourself, take time to reflect on your experiences, and stay involved in your community in whatever way feels genuine to you. Pennsylvania is shaped and strengthened by the character and leadership of extraordinary young people like you, and Tom and I are confident that you will continue to create positive change in the Commonwealth and inspire others for many years to come. You are already making a difference in the lives of your fellow neighbors, and I cannot wait to see what you do next. Great congratulations.
Now my pleasure to introduce Pranita Bandy, the Upper School Student Council President, to present the Randolph St. John Teaching Award. Pranita.
Good evening, friends, family, faculty, staff, and students. My name is Pranita Bandy, and tonight, as the Upper School Student Council President, I will be presenting this year's Randolph St. John Teaching Award. This award is given by the Upper School Student Council on behalf of the student body to the teacher who embodies the true spirit of Harrisburg Academy. This is a teacher who has demonstrated unwavering work ethic and a passion for teaching, but most of all, compassion for each and every Harrisburg Academy student. He bolsters students' intellectual curiosity by incorporating knowledge into engaging and entertaining pursuits, such as games, food, and stories about his time abroad. He is an excellent active listener who strives to connect with students personally through conversing with them about their interests, whether it's about film or their cultural background. Time and time again, I have seen him bring out the best in the people around him and make the most out of a difficult situation. He stepped up to fill the unexpected vacancy as the advisor of the student council, despite not having that much prior experience, and single-handedly helped the student council foster student connection during this difficult past year. But his impact goes far beyond his teaching and his advising. As my study hall supervisor this year, he never failed to check in with me every day, and our chats were a much-needed refuge from the stress of school, and often were the best parts of my day. His support transcended even physical presence, as when I switched to learning virtually, he would send emails to show that he was still there, whether it was congratulating me on a science fair win or just wishing me a fun-filled spring break. This award can only express a small fraction of the gratitude that many students feel to have this teacher shape them into the people they are today. On behalf of the student body, I would like to sincerely thank this teacher for all that he does for the Harrisburg Academy community. And it is my great honor to present the 2021 Randolph St. John Teaching Award to Mr. Richard Huey.
Mr. Murphy, will you join me? It's now my privilege to present the student awards. Mr. Murphy is going to help me. Okay, here is the first. This award, the 15-year award, is given by the class of 1983 to students who have enrolled at the Harrisburg Academy for their entire formal education. Originally, the award was created to honor students who'd enrolled at the Academy for 13 years. Later, when the Academy expanded its academic program to include junior kindergarten program and a preschool program, 3-year-olds, the award became known as the 13, 14, and 15 years. So we start with the 13 years. Anna Borodansky. Jacob Helm. Somewhat unsurprisingly, Joseph Helm. Students who have been here 15 years, that means from 3-year-old until they're 18, basically. Morgan Butler. Paige Caldwell. Caitlin Henry. Seth Ernie. The next award is the Senior Speaking Award. As a requirement for graduation from the Academy, every senior is required to compose and deliver a speech at one of the upper school morning meetings. The speeches demonstrate our seniors' creativity, intellect, humor, compassion, and most typically, some note of gratitude. The Senior Speaking Award is presented to the student whose senior speech is selected by a committee of upper school faculty who judge the speeches based on their composition, originality, and delivery. The recipient of the 2021 Senior Speech Award is Michael Azabuki. The Alumni Scholar Award. This award is presented by the Alumni Association to the student in the upper school who has the highest academic average for 2020-21 school year. The winner this year is Dominic Savarino. Cumulative upper grade score is 4.3. Oh my goodness me, not an easy task at the Academy by any means. Congratulations, Dominic. The Senior Sailor Award. I believe this is the Senior Sailor Award. This award is presented to the student in 12th grade who has shown consistent effort, worked independently to his or her capacity to earn the high level of academic achievement. In our challenging world of the 21st century, these are timeless characteristics and skills that will carry students far. Morgan Butler, congratulations on being selected by the upper school faculty as the recipient of the 2021 Senior Sailor Award. The Head of School Awards. This award is presented to those students who have demonstrated consistent academic achievement and school spirit and a strong commitment to the Academy and its mission, a notable record of service to the school community, and a caring and sensitivity to others beyond what is expected normally. The 3 recipients of this award have proven to be quite a nucleus of energy, goodwill, leadership, to their peers in the class of 2021 and the upper school division as a whole. I am pleased to present this award to the following 3 students. Annalisa Kempsky. Alexa Nile. And Dominic Savarino. The next award is the Harrisburg Academy Award. This award is presented to the young woman or man who best exemplifies the highest ideals and cherished goals of the Academy in sportsmanship, conduct, steadfastness of purpose, unselfish service, outstanding school spirit, and loyalty to the Academy. As with the Head of School Award, along with this award goes a certain sense of gratitude on the part of the school and myself. The reason for this gratitude is that sportsmanship, perseverance, unselfish service, outstanding school spirit, and loyalty to our wonderful school means a lot because of the standards they set as a role model. How our students model their behavior certainly rubs off on the actions of other students, often younger ones. You can ask any one of our teachers about the meaningfulness of this award. Therefore, Pranetta Bandi and Joseph Hell, my thanks go to you for your role modeling to the Academy. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our valedictorian, Dominic Savarino, to give his address.
So, a few months ago, I promised Chris that I would give him a personalized shout out if I had to do a speech. So, Chris, here it is. Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, administration, families, and friends. Today, we flip the page onto a fresh chapter in our lives and become responsible adults. Because of all the stressful months leading up to this day, it feels as if we are limping across the finish line. But nonetheless, we, the class of 2021, cross it in one piece. Before I start, I just want to reiterate that all efforts responsible for our success are recognized. We worked hard to get to this point, but we didn't do it by ourselves. So first, to the administration and anyone else that helped in organizing this event, thank you for making this possible despite all of the uncertainty that this year brought us. To our principals, Mr. Murphy and Mr. Allen, thank you for keeping things running smoothly so that we could get the most out of our last year of high school. To Ms. Sabbath and Mrs. Hart, thank you for the endless support during the roller coaster ride that was this year. To the IT department, you all have been the MVPs of this year. Thank you for sorting out our technical difficulties and spending countless hours trying to make virtual interaction as optimal and enjoyable as possible. To our coaches and the athletics department, thank you for making school about more than just classwork and working your hardest to give us as much athletics as possible this year. Through sports, we learned the importance of discipline and good sportsmanship. To the custodial and lunch staff, you know better than anyone else how messy we've been. Thank you for appeasing our hunger and keeping our school clean and safe. To the parents, thank you for your support and guidance through the years. You dragged us out of bed on our worst mornings, listened to our complaints, attended our sporting or musical events, and invested probably too much money in us. And of course, to our teachers, thank you for being some of the most selfless and encouraging people in our lives. You all have taught us how to express ourselves through writing, led us through experiments, helped us turn our creative visions into art, and have been extremely flexible with our inability to meet important deadlines. I speak for the whole class when I say we are grateful for your contributions, and the best way to pay off the debt is for us to make the best out of the opportunities we've been given. So once again, thank you. With that out of the way, the couple of weeks leading up to convocation and graduation have been fantastic. Minimal responsibilities, no classes, and lots of time for sleep and TV shows. For the first time in a while, I've had the opportunity to think about what Harrisburg Academy means to me and about what comes next. And I found myself thinking a lot about time. It feels as if last week I was starting school at Harrisburg Academy, preparing for my freshman year, and logging on to my first Google Meet. We're truly powerless compared to time. I think Donald Glover describes it best when he says, "There was a time before you, and there will be a time after you." No one can win the fight against time, but I've noticed how it seems to slow down when we appreciate the smaller and extraneous moments. There's an indescribable sense of magic in these moments. They are so powerful that as they happen, part of us recognizes that these are memories we will never forget. Some of my fondest memories like these at Harrisburg Academy were playing spike ball at Pincho on senior skip day, teaming up with Mr. Bennett in the dodgeball tournament, and the one virtual Spanish class that was canceled because Michael A. wouldn't stop singing. The point is, time is far too precious to let slip away without a fight. I say this because in the fall, we pursue college or work. We will have new friends, new expectations, new homes, new conditions. The class of 2021 has the world's next wave of doctors, teachers, researchers, psychiatrists, engineers, artists, lawyers, and much more. Our futures may be a little foggy for some of us, but that's okay. I believe we build confidence in ourselves by being a little lost. We just need to make sure we hang on to our passions once we find them, because we may never know how long they will stick with us. In the next chapter of our lives, our definitions of success will also become increasingly important. I don't have enough wisdom yet to describe what success is all about, but I've noticed the odd similarities between life and card games. Each new challenge we face is a new game of cards. These challenges or tasks can be as simple as finding a reason to get out of bed in the morning, or as difficult as some complex math problem. However, for each challenge, we have to perform under a given set of circumstances. Or continuing the metaphor, we are dealt different hands. So an important question becomes, how do we play our cards when we are dealt a lousy hand? Well, I believe we've answered this very question during this past year. We were dealt an unexpected hand of cards, and we quickly realized we were not meant to wonder why they were given to us. But instead, we needed to ask ourselves, what will we make of them? So when the world went into isolation, we played our cards the best way we could. We truly fought for everything that we've earned during the past 15 months. We laughed and cried at our failures. We developed some bad habits, but never did we give up on or stop caring about getting the most out of the conditions we were given. Everyone has their own definition of success, but personally, mine is being satisfied with how I played my cards. And I think we all have a reason to be satisfied today. Good luck to all the seniors in the fall, and I hope everyone enjoys their well-deserved summer breaks. Thank you.
Mr. Murphy, will you come and help us work with giving the diplomas?
I think I can help you out, Mr. Allen.
Thank you.
So when writing our senior vignettes, I resisted the urge to put in there a phrase that I said probably 10,000 times this year. Any new cough, fever, runny nose, sore throat, shortness of breath, GI symptoms? It was almost my mantra for this year, but I did not put it in any of these remembrances of our graduates. So I'd like to ask Michael Scherzanitza to come join us first as class president. Michael W. Scherzanitza. Never one to shy away from a challenge or an opportunity for learning. Michael approaches life with an inquiry focus. Even before having teachers in class, he sought them out for advice on his latest personal projects, as he chose activities that gave him a chance to extend what he had already learned and to try something new. His enthusiasm for exploring new phenomena is intense and is welcome in a society in which people's interests seem to track what is trending rather than what is meaningful. Michael sees needs and works to find solutions. His work in starting up the Academy's new HA News broadcast team shows this, and his ability to keep his team focused speaks to his strength at channeling people's creative energies. While Michael was and will forever be a serious student, his personality also includes a delightfully and extremely self-aware sense of humor. And as his time in FBLA shows us, he can also make one heck of a milkshake. In college, there are always students who want everyone to know how smart they are, while there are others who do not feel that need to boast about their intelligence and commitment, and would rather show that through their work and dedication. Michael will be in the latter, and his colleagues, campus, and community will all benefit from his passions and ingenuity. Michael Ikenna Ezubike. In sharing their thoughts about Michael, Academy faculty had a lot to say, as his enthusiasm shone through in all that he did. Whether it was sharing ideas in biology class or writing code to automate weekly maintenance duties for the Academy's technology department, Michael approached each of his tasks with a determination on improving the experiences of those around him. Michael embodies numerous qualities in the IB learner profile. He regularly takes risks, like the time he helped run auditions for an Academy production and ended up auditioning and earning a lead role. He cares deeply for others, as exemplified by his internship in which he taught children in Nigeria how to code. He is a thinker, as shown by his numerous contributions to classroom discussions and conversations, and he enjoys sharing his knowledge, sometimes even leaping over tables to share his thoughts on the board. Just like at the Academy, we know that in college, Michael will cherish those unplanned minutes between classes and other routines because he knows that those are the moments in which real connections can be made. While he may not have as memorable of a role as the Grinch, we know that he will give those he comes in contact with as great of memories as he has given us. Pranita Bondi. Leadership is often a balance between choosing to promote one's own needs or choosing to promote the needs of others. And in her roles as a leader, Pranita has chosen the latter. Described by one faculty member as a natural-born leader who shows great compassion for everyone she meets, Pranita approaches all her tasks with a conscientious work ethic. In a society where empathy seems to fade away with each day, her empathy shines through in all that she does. At the start of the pandemic, Pranita donated her Grand Champion KSF prize winnings to the food bank and inspired the community to donate to a resource that so many needed at that time. As the world began to slowly emerge on the other side of the pandemic, Pranita refused to remain on the sidelines and worked to develop the Seniors Helping Seniors project that focused on helping members of the Harrisburg community get vaccinated. Some of her classmates at this event are vaccinated because of her efforts. As she moves on from the Academy, Pranita will no doubt continue her impressive record of outstanding achievements that not only give her a chance to share her talents and passions, yet also make the lives of others better. Not because she wants the recognition, but because that is who she is, and that is what she does. River Alexander Barker. River found his voice at the Academy as he grew in confidence both as an artist and as a person. And he owes this growth to the passion and devotion with which he approaches any challenge before him. Art especially served as a way for River to develop his voice and to share his perspective on the world around him. His classmates appreciated his efforts and looked forward to his presentations of his current artwork, as they knew that they would be simultaneously challenged and impressed by River's authentic and genuine approach to his work. River used his talents to help those in the greater community as well. With the senior internship, he found a way to combine his love for art with his compassion for helping others, working with a local hospice to help senior citizens create art. Actions like this only confirm what we at the Academy already know about River. He will take what he has learned in school, combine it with the gifts, talents, and traits he already possesses, and will create something new and wonderful for others to enjoy. River has given us at the school so much, and we cannot wait to see what he is able to give the world. Julia, sorry. My apologies there, River, I apologize. Julia Caroline Bent. Now we can clap, there we go. Julia may have played a convincing evil queen on the stage, and that just goes to show how good of an actor she is, because that is not who she is in real life. In talking about Julia, her teachers remarked on what a great person she is and how much she contributed to their classes. Whether it was through a witty comment or a creative way to look at a problem, Julia brought her unique perspective to all her experiences at the Academy. Her senior internship epitomizes this trait, as she chose to work with middle school students this spring after completing her last day of classes in late April. For a senior to come back to campus in May, when they are not required to, it says a lot about how committed Julie was to helping younger members of the art community learn to appreciate and to love the craft as much as she does. Even though she will continue to learn much at her next academic stop, what makes Julia such an interesting and creative person cannot be taught in an academic setting. It comes from within. We are all certainly fortunate enough to experience just a small part of what Julia will ultimately share with the world. Anna Vladi Borodiansky. This student is known by faculty and her peers as a passionate and dedicated individual who commits fully to all activities and puts her heart into everything she does. Anna does a great job of connecting her learning with her continuous creativity, and the seriousness with which she approaches her tasks is almost without peer. Throughout her time at the Academy, Anna balanced her challenging course load with her fledgling ballet career, and a less disciplined student would have been hard-pressed to achieve the same level of accomplishment in just one of these activities, much less two. This speaks to Anna's commitment to being herself in all that she does, and also serves as an example for younger students at the Academy that hard work and perseverance will help one itself achieve one's goals. Her internship with the Pennsylvania Ballet Company and her focus on helping students with special needs highlights the compassion and caring for others as she works to help her students develop the same passion she's personally cultivated through so many hours of practice and performance. We all look forward to seeing what Anna will do in her post-academy career. If it is anything like what she accomplished as a student here, we will not want to miss it. Van Robert Branoff. A curious and dedicated student, Van approaches studies and activities with a balance of intellect, humor, and curiosity. Always eager to learn, he approached new challenges both inside and outside of the classroom as opportunities for learning. Whether it was working on the audio and visual needs for a performance or learning about engineering at his internship, Van impresses teachers and supervisors with his thoughtful questions and genuine interest. Especially in the theater production, Van's approach created multiple opportunities for collaboration as he mentored younger students and helped them develop their skills and problem-solving abilities. Van understood that part of his legacy at the Academy would be teaching others to take on his roles and positions once he graduated, and he has worked to prepare younger students to make those roles their own. As shared by one of his teachers, Van never shied away from an opportunity to express himself and was able to do so with respect and admiration for his peers and teachers. We look forward to seeing and hearing about the challenges Van will take on in college, and we know he will approach them with the same vigor and enthusiasm that he had at the Academy. We are committed to pictures here at Harrisburg Academy. Morgan Lita Butler. A kind, compassionate, and caring student, Morgan lives a genuine life. Whether it is a class, a project, internship, or a cause, if Morgan is involved, you can be 100% sure she is committed. Throughout her time at the Academy, Morgan created cartoon versions of her classmates and teachers, photo and artistic layouts in the yearbook, and car wash fundraisers, all with an aim of bringing people together and improving the school. She's also the driving force behind the Academy's mini-thon and approached those planning tasks with a focus on a cause greater than herself and a determination to help others understand the positive impact they too can have. Morgan is not one to seek the spotlight, yet one can tell if she's been involved with an activity because it is well organized, thoughtfully planned, and authentic, because Morgan creates what she knows. What we know is that we are excited to see what she'll create next after leaving the Academy, and we know she will continue to make us all proud to say we knew her when. Paige Clothier Caldwell. Not to steal from an 80s financial services commercial, but when this student speaks, people listen. Paige possesses a maturity beyond her years and is respected by both faculty and her peers for her ability to find the balance between hard work and taking time to care for herself. She knows that even in a society as fast-paced as our own, taking the time to slow down, breathe, and reflect can produce lasting outcomes and results. Paige took on multiple leadership roles during her time at the Academy. In student council this year, she worked to help the student body navigate a year in which connecting with each other looked different than ever before. And in swimming, she served as a role model for her younger teammates and showed them what being committed to a sport truly means. Paige is a lifelong learner who understands that part of the journey is remaining open to the possibilities that could potentially provide new and greater opportunities than one's originally planned path. Paige set her own way as an Academy student, and we know that the road she will take after this year will be her own. All we ask is that she send us a postcard every now and then as she embarks on the trip of her lifetime. Abigail Liddy Coyle. A curious student who's willing to take risks both inside and outside of the classroom, Abigail is the type of student who, in the words of one of her teachers, asks the question everyone is thinking about asking, and also the one that no one else has thought of. Abigail is always willing to jump in and lend a helping hand. Even during the summers when she could have been doing anything, she frequently helped the middle school summer Shakespeare program with her technical expertise, helpful acting tips, and guidance for younger actors. She approaches texts and other new academic material with an insight and perspective, and picks up on subtleties in both literary and artistic texts that others might miss. Classroom experiences were richer with Abigail present. We know that Abigail will continue to make learning come alive at our next academic destination. We have no doubt that our new colleagues will come to enjoy her creativity and dedication as much as we have. Seth Uto Ernie. When Seth walked the hallways at the academy, he radiated a positive energy that was contagious. And when he entered a classroom, it was the same. As one teacher said about Seth, he never lost his friendly outlook he had when he was younger, nor his ability to make someone's day. Seth's memories of the academy center around the times in which he and others built relationships. Senior class math picnics with Ms. Nazar, M&M chemical bonds with Ms. Hurst, popsicle sticks with Ms. Spar, and district basketball appearances. Seth also shared this energy with those outside the academy community. He served on numerous local youth advisory boards, including the Cumberland County Youth Advisory Board, and earned national recognition for his volunteer efforts. These honors speak to Seth's ability to work through adversity and to make sure that all members of a team, group, or project felt heard and supported. We are confident that these qualities of Seth will only grow as he takes the next step in his academic journeys. His ability to find joy in all that he does will only lead to greater opportunities, both for himself and for all the communities lucky enough to have him as a member. Kayla Christine Griner. During her time at the academy, Kayla developed her voice, and our school has only benefited from this. Art served as a way for her to share her perspectives, and she took full advantage of the opportunity to create, refine, and enjoy sharing her talents and passions. Those of you who watched the virtual auction have already seen her talent, as one of her pieces was a prominent background feature. The backdrop may have been virtual, but Kayla's talent is quite real. Kayla also shares these talents with the wider community. Through her internship, she developed graphics and animation for her church's weekly services. Her work on the yearbook as one of this year's editors speaks to her dedication to making sure that even in a year unlike any other, that students and teachers will still have memories to share and enjoy. The academy is greater for Kayla sharing her gifts with all of us. Soon another school will be greater, as Kayla's talents and creativity will continue to grow. This, matched with her consideration and compassion for others, ultimately means that all who have the privilege of getting to know Kayla in the future will be greater as well. Lucky them. My apologies as I had my pages out of order, but I want to recognize Elaine Guy, who is joining us from China virtually today. There we go. Hey, Elaine. This student is a true risk taker in an exceptionally good way. Committed to high academic standards, Elaine approached the diploma program with a quiet focus and determination that enabled her to take on numerous challenges and emerge successfully. She approached each new situation with grace and a great sense of humor. And even when she was learning virtually, her presence in the learning environment was palpable and exceptional. Elaine was a successful leader in the school's Future Business Leaders of America chapter and won numerous awards at both state and local competitions. This chapter exists at the academy partly because of her efforts, and this serves as a small example of what positive impact can happen when Elaine is involved. She was a hands-on leader and worked to keep her classmates focused on any task she knew she was going to do, that the growth of the chapter depended on her ability as well as her ability to help others develop their leadership potential. Potential is one word we can frequently use when discussing Elaine's future. We are confident she will approach her opportunities with a firm sense of self and an even firmer commitment to improving the opportunities for those around her. Thank you, Elaine. Jacob Isaiah Helm. Jacob brought his positive and curious outlook on life to the academy each and every day. Candid yet respectful, dependable yet surprising, he treated each day as an opportunity to get better. Jacob provides a blueprint for younger students on how one can enjoy their time in high school, yet also emerge as a serious and committed individual. Family is at the core of who Jacob is, and he worked to bring levity to his classroom family during discussions and activities. Challenging himself and his classmates to think about ideas and perspectives differently was just one of the numerous contributions Jacob made in helping to build a learning community no matter where he was. This focus on building capacity in others also translated to the athletic arena. His teammates knew they could count on Jacob to do what the team needed at any particular moment. As one of his teachers said, Jacob is up for any adventure, and we all know that he will thrive in college. Soon, another learning community will get to know what we already do. Having Jacob there just makes it better. Joseph Abraham Helm. One of his teachers described him as the epitome of strength and decency, and his actions during his time at the academy certainly support that statement. Joseph might seem easygoing, yet there is a quiet seriousness about him that drives him to do his best, not only in 10th grade robotics competitions or playing one of his multiple sports, but also in his learning and capacity for critical thinking. Joseph did this not just for himself, but for others as well. As a team captain, he balanced the difficult role of supporting younger teammates while simultaneously challenging them to take on greater team responsibilities. He knew that they had to develop these skills, not just for the current season, but also for the future seasons when he would not be there to guide them. Joseph cares deeply about others, not because it is trendy right now, but because it is at the core of who he is. Laughter and learning will follow Joseph wherever he will go. And while we have cherished his time at the academy, we know it is only right that the rest of the world gets to enjoy him too. Caitlin Elizabeth Henry. Respected by her peers and teachers for her intelligent commentary, analytical insight, and quick wit, Caitlin makes an impact no matter the activity. She worked to develop her academic, artistic, and athletic passions while at the academy, and she was able to excel in all three, which speaks to her commitment and dedication to self-improvement. Caitlin draws people to her. Whether it's playing a public piano on an academy trip to Hungary or meeting with World War II veterans in New Orleans, Caitlin's actions highlight her desire to share herself with others while giving them a chance to share themselves with her. Her artistic capacities combined with her empathy have allowed her to see and understand perspectives others do not, and her ability to respectfully help others see potential errors in their methods of thinking and perspectives illustrate her mature approach to connecting with others. We know that Caitlin will continue to grow both as a student and as a person in college. And we also know that she will continue to inspire those around her to follow her example and to work to become their best selves. Her creativity produces spaces for others to develop their skills and passions, and we thank her for sharing her unique gifts with us. Lindsay Monet Jackson. Lindsay certainly has an impressive academic record. And in reflecting on their experiences with her, the Academy faculty chose not to focus on that element. Instead, they chose to focus on her compassionate and caring nature. They talked about how she went out of her way to make both her classmates and faculty feel valued and special, and how she would talk to people no matter how busy she was. They remembered how she would encourage her friends, an admirable quality when one thinks about how competitive our society has become. These traits are not something we at the Academy can take credit for. It is just who she is. Lindsay is a person who sets goals and works to meet them. And she is also able to adapt to changing situations, whether it is at a project that did not work out as planned or an initial internship choice that fell through. She always kept her focus on her ultimate goals, and she never wavered from that focus. Well, unless it was to encourage one of her classmates to keep their focus on their own. There are just some people who make the weather wherever they are, and Lindsay is one of those people. In that sense, meteorology is a perfect path for her. She may have to talk about storms as part of her future career, but it is only sunny wherever Lindsay is, and we will enjoy watching her shine in her post-academy experiences. Annalise Mary Kempsky. There are students who look at high school as a hoop to jump through, and there are others who look at it as an opportunity to grow and to help others grow as well. Annalise is certainly in the latter category, as she has never stopped looking for ways to grow at the Academy. She truly cares about this entire community and made it one of her unassigned duties to ensure that students and faculty throughout the school felt appreciated and respected. When people talk with Annalise, they could always feel like they had her full attention. An intrinsically curious person, she looks at each conversation as a chance to learn something new and to help herself and others grow via dialogue and reflection. It is rare today that people walk away from an interaction feeling fully heard and understood. And we can all learn something from Annalise's genuine and authentic approach to personal communication and interaction. Annalise makes these choices not with an eye to her resume or in pursuit of social and cultural clout. She does it because she earnestly believes that it is the right choice to make. Her eye is in helping others know their own self-worth and in helping communities grow into something more exceptional than they ever could have been without her efforts. Savannah Jade Klinger. During her time at the Academy, Savannah developed a better sense of herself. She especially used the arts as a way to express her opinions and perspectives. Whether it was working on musical pieces or determining the best way to put the finishing touches on an art project, Savannah always looked to add a personal touch to her products and to make them her own. She also worked to challenge herself, joining the basketball team as a junior, even though she had limited previous playing experience. This speaks to Savannah's ability to step out of her comfort zone and to also support her classmates with their efforts. She's a committed and caring friend who works to make sure those around her know their value and their worth. Savannah is persistent and willing to work through adversity to reach a goal, and this will be a trait that will serve her well as she moves forward on whichever path she chooses. Whatever path that is, we know she will make it her own, and that she also makes sure that those around her feel supported on their own paths, as she will continue to be a compassionate and considerate person. Feeney Lon. In my experience, it's been rare when a documentary film crew comes on campus to film an interview with a student. However, if one knows Feeney, it's not surprising. They always took every opportunity to learn something new, and they saw their newfound knowledge not as something to hold on to, but instead as something to share through programs and projects that had an impact beyond the academy walls. Feeney's teachers described them as authentic and one of a kind, and those are apt descriptions for a student who constantly found unique and different ways to tell their story and the stories of others. They understood that one's high school experiences needed to be more than just about academics. It had to be about life itself. And Feeney was committed to learning about themselves and developing empathy for others. As they move on to the bigger stage, we know that they will continue to look for learning in the small daily experiences that seem trite and ordinary, yet are filled with great significance. We look forward to seeing what stories of significance Feeney will tell as they continue to develop their already exceptional, genuine, and insightful voice. Benjamin LeBron. Known for his unique perspectives and inquisitive nature, Ben knew how to stay connected with his classmates, even with Google Meets and virtual classrooms. He made sure that his learning in school combined with his learning outside of school, as he developed ways to adapt his computer science and technology skills to support his outside interests and vice versa. Ben also looked for ways to connect people during a time when disconnection and isolation were becoming more frequent. He started the Spartan Speaks podcast during the centers this year, and it developed into a way for students to learn more about their teachers and for the faculty to deepen their relationships with their students. Ben understands the importance of people being able to share their perspectives and learn how to ask probing yet respectful questions that allowed others to feel like their voices were being heard. We know that Ben will continue to develop ways to make sure his learning has a positive multiplier effect on all facets of his life, as well as the lives of others. We also know that he will do this while maintaining a sense of humor that keeps people joyous and laughing, but also challenges them to think and reflect. There is no escape. You cannot get away. I would now like to welcome another one of our graduates who is joining us from China, Amy Liu. At some level, all schools expect conformity, yet this student always found a way to be herself. Known by her teachers as a funny and kind person, Amy enjoyed the academy and relished the opportunity to discuss ideas with her classmates. She took full advantage of the extracurriculars at the academy as she was active in the FBLA and participated on the swim team. Amy knew that high school was more than just academics. Amy's optimistic outlook on life in school had a beneficial impact on her classmates, and she always appreciated opportunities that came her way. She followed her interests even when that meant taking additional diploma program courses in addition to her already strict academy class schedule. And she worked independently to develop the skills she knew she would need at the academy and in college. As Amy moves on to her university, we know that she will bring her infectious enthusiasm and engagement to a new learning community. We are confident that she will continue to take on each new challenge with a full spirit and will cherish the time she spends learning with others. Congratulations, Amy. Alexa Catherine Niles. In talking about this student, one teacher wrote that she breathes life into every role she plays. And that is also an accurate description of the impact Alexa has had on the Academy during her time here. She has helped the school feel alive. Whether it is in the classroom, on the court, or on the stage, Alexa approaches each task with admirable resiliency and authenticity. You know what you are getting with Alexa because there are no pretenses. She also understands what it means to be a leader, focusing not on what she needed as a captain or lead actor, rather on what the team or the cast needed to produce the best performances from all those involved. Wherever Alexa goes, a positive impact is sure to follow. Alexa approaches her challenges with the mature understanding that they are temporary obstacles that also serve as learning and growth opportunities. From what she's been able to accomplish during her time at the Academy, we know that her learning and growth will continue no matter where she goes, and that she will continue to inspire those around her in wanting to grow and improve as well. Dominic Charles Savarino. In talking about Dominic, teachers noted his quiet nature. However, you know what they say about the quiet ones. When they speak up, they often have the most to say. Whether it was explosions in physics, not real ones, mom and dad, make that very clear, or thoughtful contributions to discussions in history, Dominic always ensured that he was able to share his perspective, and often did so with a level of analytical sophistication that epitomized his ability to think critically about a topic and to synthesize multiple strands of thought into a coherent whole. His playing cards analogy in his valedictorian speech serves an example of that ability, as he used a common experience to make an exceptionally profound point. As he matriculates to college, Dominic will continue to look for ways to challenge himself and others. He will continue to ask questions that have no easy answers, and he will continue to look for that next opportunity and goal. With people like Dominic, maybe colonizing Mars isn't such a reach after all. Davin John Sheetram. Whether he was physically in the classroom or in a tile on Google Meet, this student was a presence with his enthusiasm for learning and his gift for connecting with others. Davin saw each class as a chance to learn and took full advantage of the opportunities provided by classroom discussions and projects to dig deeper into a topic and to uncover different perspectives. His senior internship also gave him such an opportunity as he developed new perspectives with its focus on art and murals. In athletics as well, Davin took full advantage of the chance to compete and helped his team with whatever role they needed him to play. Just like in the classroom, he had a presence and impact on the field of play. The world needs more risk takers, and Davin is more than willing to be a student and a person who takes a step few others are willing to take. One only needs to look at his performance in last night's convocation to see this, as he took a chance and saw it pay off. We're confident that Davin's future choices will continue to pay off, as he's the type of student and person whose enthusiastic ability to connect with others will bring him great future successes. Henri Tian. In today's fast-paced society with its premium on speed, so much gets lost as people focus on getting tasks done fast instead of getting tasks done right. This student is not like that. Some might call her approach old school, yet there is a better way to describe it: doing it the right way. Henri cares deeply about her studies and approaches all of her academic tasks with the seriousness that they deserve. Never one to turn in an assignment half finished because she did not have enough time, she takes her time and makes the effort to do her best, no matter the activity. She's also serious about helping others, especially with her focus on studying nutrition. Her peers respect her diligence and commitment and know they can count on her to do what is right, not only for herself, but for others. Hungry is a proactive student, as she's not one to wait for something to happen. She would rather make her own path and determine her own journey. We know this trait will continue to serve her well as she begins her post-academy life, with a focus on quality rather than quantity. We could all do well to incorporate this approach more in our own lives, and we thank her for showing us that this is possible to do. Manuela Zimmerman. There are students who wait for change to happen to them, and there are students who act to make change. Manya is one of the latter. During her time at the academy, she constantly demonstrated her ability to grow both as a student and as a person, and this was noticed and respected by both her peers and teachers. This past year, she took the initiative to set up her internship with a local law firm and independently built a relationship with it that will continue past her time at the academy. Her arrival convocation practice on Wednesday speaks to her dedication to this commitment. When Manya came to practice, she said, "I've been in court all day." And after initial pang of worry, we all realized she'd been doing what she always does, going above and beyond to make sure that what is done right. This determination and focus comes not from self-interest, but rather from a commitment to personal growth, focused on helping others grow as well. Manya's choice to use her experiences at the academy as chances to learn also helped others realize what they could learn too. That she did this while she was always staying true to her already exceptional character only speaks to the dynamic and intrinsically motivated person she already is and will continue to be. Chris Wong. When reflecting on Chris, his teachers noted how much he was growing during his time in the upper school. Whatever Chris did, he did fully, and he worked to immerse himself in academy culture while also adding his own personality to everything that he did. The Chris that entered the academy is certainly different than the one who will be leaving it, and that is due to his openness to learning and enthusiasm for new experiences. Chris never shied away from a challenge. And this is one of the reasons he has developed into what one teacher called a confident, insightful senior who I am proud to have taught. One can also see this in his decision to run track and field during his senior year. No matter what event he was in, he gave it his all. And his growth and confidence in even just one season was quite apparent. He even took on the hurdles events, which for someone in their first year of track is rather impressive. That Chris would make such a choice is not really that surprising when one looks at his academy experiences. He knows that he grows most as a student and as a person when he takes risks and finds meaning in whatever tasks are in front of him. In life, there are always hurdles, and we are confident that Chris will continue to jump over them with ease. If I can ask the class of 2021 to please stand. And they will now all move their tassels from right to left.
Can we all stand, because it is now time to sing the Blue and Gold. It isn't. Mr. Corcoran, President of the Board of Trustees, I present to you the graduates of 21, having met all the requirements of the Academy. I announce that you are indeed graduates of the Harrisburg.
A second, I need to get my story straight. No, I know that I'm not all that you got. Like I said, I just thought maybe we could find a ways to fall apart. But our friends are back, so let's raise it up. 'Cause I found someone to carry me across the line. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can go brighter than the sun. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can go brighter than the sun. Count to nine. Just count to nine. Just go and So let's set the world on fire. I so let's set the world on fire. So by the time the bar closes and I feel like falling down, I'll play you home tonight.